What is up, Squared Nation? Welcome back to No Counters, No Combos, and today we're back in the Battle Chamber. I want to apologize for that egregious glare that we have, but that is a Majin Vegeta leader. We have Jacob on the right playing Majin Vegeta, and we have Dylan on the left playing Launch. This is actually taking place during our shop championships at our local Gamers Edge. I'll leave the link in the description box below so you guys can check them out. We do have locals for Dragon Ball Super every Saturday starting at 6 or 7 depending on the format. Most of the time we are playing best of 1, but if there's a larger event, whether it's a qualifier or a shop championship, we usually do best of 3 and we start a little bit early. So if you guys want deets, just PM me or send me an email or join the Discord, which will also be in the description box below. That way you guys can join us for some awesome Dragon Ball Super games. So, Jacob's going first. He's going to charge a Dragon Ball, giving him 1 green energy to activate Babidi and get the quickening and pass turn. And Dylan's going to go ahead and charge his Tau for 1 red. Swing with Launch, activate Bulma, flip a life, draw a card. Awaken, technically, even though Launch doesn't awaken, she just kind of flips when life is flipped face up. And if he combos again, he will be able to draw another card. So that's going to be a 5k swing into Vegeta. Jacob's going to take that damage. Because he took damage, he's going to activate the quickening. Take a life, put it under the ball. Dylan's going to pass. Jacob's going to draw, untap, and charge his dormant potential for energy number 2. We are playing best of 3, like I said, so you'll be able to see the entire match play out. Jacob's going to go ahead and swing with his Majin Vegeta, activate the auto, take a life, go down to 6, draw a card, and put 1 under the ball, giving him 2. So Vegeta sitting at 15k double strike, which is crazy, right? Putting that type of aggression on a leader early is pretty insane, especially with somebody like Launch, who doesn't get big. Like, she starts at 5 and flips to 10, so she really has to combo out and make like a big effort to do that. But she does draw a crap ton of cards, which you're going to see. So it does kind of mitigate that, slight misfortune of not being a big leader when she's flipped on her back. So Dylan's going to go ahead and super combo with a Nappa, going up to 20, and then drop a Bulma to go to 25 and save himself taking 2 life. The good thing about Launch is the fact that she draws a lot of cards, but she maintains a hefty life total throughout. Because of the volatility of the battle cards that you can put on the board for such little amounts of energy, you as the opponent playing against Launch, you really have to pay attention to their board because you don't want them to get out of hand. Going at leader, if they can combo out, they will, and then just draw a ton of cards in doing so and not take life, and then they're going to have all of their offensive threats on board anyway. So playing against this deck a lot, because Dylan does play it and testing on tap, you kind of want to make sure that you can control the board. It is a slower burn in this deck. Playing against Launch, you're not going to be able to really beat her in the early turns, turns 2, turns 3. Unless your deck is specifically designed to do that, it's going to be kind of hard taking her out, pretty early. So Jacob's going to go ahead and activate Tapions. Tapions came in draft box 6. These cards are really interesting. Definitely a tech choice. You can I believe it's pay an energy and discard it to draw, and then they come out onto the board, which is great because it's a 15k battle card that's just going to give you pressure. And Jacob's going to pass his turn there. So he's tapped out. He's got 6 life. Majin Vegeta does awaken at 5, so we got to keep that in mind. Dylan's going to charge a Bell mod, giving him 1 red and 1 green energy. Attack with Launch to lead. Activate Launch's auto. This is, in my opinion, the best thing about Launch. When she attacks on her backside, she can give any card on your opponent's side of the board -5k. Leaders, battle cards, unison cards. I think that makes her really, really strong. And it just screams to me like SS3 Goku one-hit wonder, which I'm surprised as to why a lot of people aren't playing that card. But, that whole energy or power reduction does synergize a lot with a litany of red battle cards that we have to our disposal right now. So Dylan's going to go ahead, attack, combo, flip back to the front side. He's going to Arrival Gogeta to pop one of the Tapions, and then he's going to activate Acrobatic. When Gogeta comes into play, if you have Acrobatic in hand, you can just play him for free. He's a nice card because of the Alliance skill. Obviously, we have the 2-drop Piccolo that we got from Draft Box 6. When you activate Alliance and you target Acrobatic Gogeta as one of the Alliance targets, he just automatically burns. So Piccolo burns 1, Gogeta burns 1, that's 2, and then Piccolo would be coming at you for, that would be 31 double strike, and you got a combo out of that. So you're essentially doing 4 damage if you can hit it properly. Dylan's going to go ahead and play the Trunks for free from his hand, and because he has 3 different battle cards on the board, he can play Tao, which is a unique 15k critical the turn he's played. So again, you can see a lot of, cheap threats being played for free, which is kind of what red and green does. They have the arrival mechanic. It's probably the most effective arrival in the game, red-green. You can make the argument some, yellow-blue stuff is pretty good, but I think red-green's just a tinge better. And you could just be efficient, which is great, right? Dylan's going to go ahead and swing with Resonant. 20k double strike to lead. I guess Tapion's a blocker. Had no idea about that. So he's going to block that attack. Jacob's going to super combo because he's at 4 life. Bottom deck 1, draw 2. Saving the Tapion from getting KO'd. Acrobatic's going to swing at lead for 15. Doesn't look like Jacob has any counters. Majin Vegeta is sitting at 4 life. So I'm surprised he hasn't awakened yet. He probably wants to save the awaken for his turn because an untapped 2 leader is still really strong. He's going to go ahead and take the damage off of Acrobatic and then put a card under the Quickening. He should have 4 cards underneath the ball because he took 4 life. Or he took 5 life. So he definitely has 4. He just wants to activate on his turn. He's going to charge the Piccolo Unison that we got from set 12 for 3 energy. This is probably the big turn, right? Because you're going to be able to activate your Quickening. Your opponent has 1 green energy open. And you have your Awaken skill. Wow, that glare is terrible. I really do apologize for that. I got to start working out the kinks on these angles again because it's our first time really, getting back into the swing of things at locals here. But let's see what Jacob decides to do. He looks like he's going to tap 1 here. Is he going to play a Unison out? Oh, he's going to tap 1 for the Hatch effect. Okay. So tap 1 for Hatch, send to drop. Search for a Bobbity. And Bobbity, okay, so shuffle. Bobbity, what is he going to do with this Bobbity? He already has Quickening on the board. Does Bobbity get a piece from the deck? Bobby's going to trigger, yeah, Bobbity scries. So he looks at top X for a Boo or something like that. Let's see. Okay. So I'm assuming Bobbity looks at top X amount of cards for a battle card with Servant. Which is going to be this 1-drop Vegeta here. It's a tournament pack promo, so it might be a little harder to get, but this card is gas. He's a 1-drop. He comes in, he takes a life. He's a servant, so if you have, the servant mechanic obviously gives you an extra 10k, so he's I believe a 15k double strike or a 25k double strike attacker. In Majin Vegeta, that's huge. Jacob's going to go ahead and activate the Quickening, bringing out the Boo that destroys a battle card. He's going to pop the Trunks. And because he KO'd one of his opponent's battle card, he's going to free play Surprise Attack Frieza. Still a very good card. Can be a little clunky because it's a 1-cost 10k combo, but if you have efficient removal, you can play this guy successfully, and it's just pressure. It's just cheap, efficient pressure, which is what this game's all about right now. So swing 15k to lead. No counters on Dylan, no combos on Jacob. Dylan's going to counter with the SR launch from set 12. You get to combo with her from the drop area, and then she goes to the warp. She's going to trigger her skill, flipping a life, which allows launch to go to her backside. And Dylan just drew 3 cards. So that's what launch does. She just draws. She just draws a ton of cards, and she lets her battle area do the work for her, which is not a problem because if you think about decks like Hercule and decks like Bulma, the leader itself is not like the win con. Bulma giving all of Saiyans and humans blockers is great, and Hercule just drawing a crap ton of cards back when it was relevant in the format is also great too. But you're putting the pressure with the battle cards. Obviously, Bulma's probably the best Gogeta leader in the game, right? Because you could play your chain and just control that way, especially having access to the Jiren Unison. So decks like this I like because they play cheap, efficient battle cards that can come out for reduced costs, and they just draw a ton of cards to kind of stay up in the resource game with your opponent. So Jacob swung with his Vegeta. He's going to Overlord, put it at the bottom to draw Majin Buu into Acrobatic, 20k to 15, so that's dead. And then he could pay a green to bring the Vegeta back out. Not sure it's something that he might want to do at this point, because there might be better targets if he can, manipulate them to the bot. Ooh, okay. So this Majin Buu that Jacob just played, right? It's the new 4-drop Majin Buu from the Toa Ultimate deck. And you can play the green Parasitic Star Dragon Ball on top of a Majin Buu and then grab one from the deck. This guy's a house because he looks at top 7 for a battle card with Xeno in its name and plays it. And as you can see, Jacob rips the 7-drop off the first card, and that's definitely the target that you want to play, right? Because now you have a 20k swing off of your Buu, and he scries top 7 to look and play another battle card, and this Majin Buu is a 25k double strike dual attacker. The other thing about the Majin Buu, when he's in rest mode, if your opponent attacks your leader, they have to discard 2 cards. And he's a 20k barrier, so he's really kind of hard to get rid of. 20k, he's going to stick unless your opponent tries to run over him, offensively. But at that point, you just kind of save him because it's kind of acting as a pseudo, I guess you can call blocker, because nobody likes discarding cards, right? So Jacob's going to swing with Majin Buu, 25k double strike. He's going to go ahead and pay 2 for his Unison. I forget what this Unison does. I believe he makes your opponent discard cards, which would be good because then you can free play the, is it Power of Legends or Strength of Legends Goku? When your opponent discards a card, you can free play him as a 15k critical. So let's see what Jacob decides to do here. He's going to uptick here from 2 to 3. And he's going to feed him. Oh, I see. Okay, so uptick. Okay, so uptick, feed, draw. That's pretty good. He's going to go ahead and combo. What is he doing? Is he playing that Vegeta? Oh, he's playing that Vegeta. Okay. So he's playing the Vegeta, swinging with Majin Buu for 25k double strike again. See if Dylan has any counters. No, he's just going to take it. But again, he just took 2 double strikes, and he's only at 4 life. So you can see where launch just kind of gets a little ridiculous, because you draw so many cards, you can combo out of the little guys, and then if you have to take big attacks, you take them, but it's still at 4 life. So Jacob's it looks like he's just going all in. He just drew all of the cards that he needed. He's playing another Parasitic Dragon Ball to evolve onto the Frieza to go into the Xeno chain here. He's going to Awaken, untap 2, which is just great for extension offensively. And then Majin Vegeta also, when he's on the backside, he gets to swing and take a life for double strike. So it's just pressure, right? It looks like the 1-drop's going to swing again. That's 15k into Tau. Smart decision. Definitely want to clear the board, especially if you have other attacks you can make, because you don't want to let launch get out of hand. So Frieza's going to go into leader, 15k. Doesn't look like Dylan has any counters. He is going to combo the Nappa. He's asking for a response. I'm sure he's assuming charismatic. So he's going to bottom deck his Servant with Overlord to draw a card. Unison into leader, 15k. No counters on Dylan's part. Let's see if Jacob decides to combo up into the swing here. He's just going to take it and go down to 3. This is the quickest I've seen launch take damage. I mean, I've played against launch a handful of times, and it's usually not until like turn 4 I can do like a significant amount of damage because I have to pay so much attention to their board. But I guess Jacob's figured it out, and he's found a way to just kind of mitigate all that and just swing and push. So he's going to swing again here with his 1-drop that he got off of the leader skill. Majin Vegeta, by tapping 1 green energy, you can take a Vegeta that's on the bottom of the deck with the Servant skill and play it. So it's really nice, especially if you have the 3-drop underneath there. The 3-drop's technically a 30k double striker because it's Servant, and if you activate a counter in response to his attack, he restands. Huge. Great card. I definitely like the Majin Vegeta archetype. It's definitely, in my opinion, one of the most powerful leaders in the game. I don't know why it doesn't see as much play. Probably because it's an aggro deck and it runs out of steam if you're playing against some type of a control deck, or if you just... But in my opinion, Jacob made a great meta call because I believe he was only one of 2 players playing Majin Vegeta at this event. We had 12 people. We had 2 Majin Vegetas. I think we had Red Broly. We had an OG Broly. We had Yellow Whis, which is what I played. We had Demon King Piccolo from set 12. We had a Black Majin Buu from set 9, which was really interesting. Shout out to Jesus. He played phenomenally. It was great matchup that we had round 2. We had an SS4 Vegeta. I'm trying to think what else am I forgetting? I'm not remembering the other decks that were in the tournament, but this is our final matchup. These guys are both undefeated at this point. They're both 2-0. They're both 3-0. So this is for all the marbles here. So let me see where we're at here. Leader swing looks like 25K. Double strike. So that's 10, 20, 30. Dylan combo is out. But there's just a lot of pressure to deal with if you can't efficiently recover, right? Yes, Majin Vegeta does take his own life very early, but you're in green. You have floodgates like Dormant. You have negates like Shocking Death Ball. You have counterplays like Frieza. So it's one of those things where if you know you can't kill him, what do you do, right? Because now Jacob's sitting at 2 life, and he's putting Dylan in a precarious situation. Does Dylan go ahead and try to kill Majin Vegeta outright and do that last 2 damage, or does he try to stabilize and take control over the board again? And with that being said, when he goes to attack the leader, because that Majin Buu's in rest mode, he has to pitch 2 cards. So again, it looks like Jacob really did his homework here. He has been playing Majin Vegeta for quite some time. He's been kind of flip-flopping between Majin Vegeta and Beerus, but he definitely has been playing Majin Vegeta for a comfortable amount since its release. So he did his homework. He came ready. And they're just resolving the unison here to discard a card. So it looks like Jacob is passing his turn here. Which, I mean, he had a phenomenal turn, so... Bottom deck the Piccolo off the unison. And that's it. And again, if you're looking at it, it's turn 3, which is crazy. In that turn, the amount of cards that Jacob put on the board for such little energy, because he did tap out, but he did awaken. So he essentially used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He essentially used 5 energy that turn, which is insane, right? So Dylan's going to go ahead and charge, giving him 2 red, 1 green. He's sitting at, I think that's 3 life. He's going to overwhelm for Bardock. Draw 2, discard 1. The best card to discard off of Bardock is Godly Majesty, which I'm pretty sure Dylan plays. I'm not sure if he has any in his hand, but you're definitely going to go a 2-for-1 swing here with Godly Majesty if you can discard it off of Bardock. And he's going to see 2 new cards. He discards Resonance, so he didn't have the Beerus, which is fine. But it's a 20k swing on board that he got for free. So let's see what he decides to do here. I don't think Launch can get rid of anything. You do have that Tapion blocker that you have to worry about. Launch is going to go ahead and swing into Unison. 15k with 3 markers. Let's see if Jacob... Yep, he has a Dormant Potential, so he's going to go ahead and activate that, allowing Dylan to only attack twice this turn. So leader into Unison, auto minus 5k, so Piccolo sitting at 10. So that would be 10 to 10, putting Piccolo down to 2 markers. So that attack hit successfully. But now the problem is Dylan can only attack once more. So he's going to play Piccolo for 2. He's going to free play Trunks and then free play Tao. So this is what makes Launch really good, right? Is just all this just free, right? Oof, another Dormant. Jeez Louise. And he's going to pop the Piccolo. Yeah, that makes sense. Because he's at 2 life, he can't activate Alliance for the burn, and that's pretty much just Dylan's turn right there. He held on to those 2 Dormants, man, for a kill turn, and that's scoop phase right there. I mean, what do you do in that situation? You know you can't really do anything else instead of worrying about trying to play it out and possibly going into time. You know, a player of Dylan's caliber, he kind of knows, he can read the writing on the wall, right? So they're going to go into siding here, go into game 2, and hopefully, he has better luck in the second game here. Obviously, he's going to start. What do you side against this? Let's see. If I was playing launch, what would I side against Majin Vegeta? Maybe Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's gonna stop you from... Does that stop you from doing anything? I mean, I guess it's gonna stop from free playing the Tapions. It's gonna stop getting the one-drop Vegetas out of the deck with the leader skill, but other than that, it doesn't really hit much. Well, the Xeno Frieza chain is 15k, so I guess it could hit that. So I guess Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan. I don't know if Red has any floodgates. I mean, I would definitely, if he's not maining them, I'd definitely side in Violent Rays, just because it's gonna stop, it's gonna stop your big guy. Like, it's gonna stop big guys, right? So if he swings with lead and you throw down a Violent Rays and call battle cards, there's not really a lot of battle cards you can swing, because all the Boos are 20k plus. Some of the Vegetas are 20k plus, especially Servant ones. Friezas are 15, so they'll be able to swing. Your Unisons will be able to swing because they're 15. But for the most part, the big boys won't be able to attack. So I would definitely side in Violence. You're not going to get to turn 6, so Shrouded is probably not a good call. If he's not maining the Supreme Kai of Time Secret Rare, I would probably play that as well, just because it's activate battle for 1, and then activate main for 1 on your turn. You basically just wipe the entire board. None of the Vegetas have barrier. At least I don't think they do off the top of my head. The only barrier card I think is Boo, so that's the only one you'd have to deal with. But Supreme Kai of Time does get rid of Unisons and battle cards, so you're kind of just resetting your opponent. And they go to the Warp too, so now they can get them back from the drop area. But that might be just some of the cards I decide to side in. If you have any more like spot removal, maybe like Max Power would be great, because you can get rid of some of the Xeno chains. You got to be careful, though, because if you get rid of the Xeno chain by skills, they do kind of go into smaller pieces, which is, I guess, it's balanced, but you want to get rid of the bigger threats on board here. So if I'm Jacob, because I won game 1 so convincingly, I mean, he did see 3 out of 4 dormants by turn 2, which is insane, because he had 1 in charge and he had 2 in hand for that final turn from Dylan. So I don't know if I would side anything in specifics. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, maybe I feel like Bardock Paternal Unison would be interesting, because it affects the combo step, which is huge with launch. Like, she really needs the combo step. And if you can get rid of one of her cards in combo, yeah, she's still going to draw. But if you can kind of like reduce her attack size, for example, if she's on her backside and she's attacking and then you combo a Nappa, she's going to be at 20k and she's already minus something 5. So if you can kind of mitigate that combo power, maybe that might be beneficial. I mean, if you could get there low key, SS2, SS2 Son Gohan Raging or Piercing, I forget his full name, but the SS2 Gohan from set 2, that when you play him, it basically board wipes everything 3 or less, and when your opponent combos with anything 3 or less, it sends to the drop area. If you could somehow play that against launch, I feel like that's like they can't do anything, because most of the combo cards you're going to have in launch are definitely 3 or less, but most of the time they're going to be 2 or less, right? Your super combos are 2. Your SR is, I think, 1 or 2. Your Bulmos are 1. So they're really not going to be able to get any combo power. They'll be able to get their skills, sure, but they won't be able to get their combo power. Therefore, they won't be able to resolve Alliance, because it's not in the combo area. It just effectively goes away. So they won't be able to resolve their alliance, or not their alliance, their a rival for red-green. So yeah, Dylan starts by charging 1 and passing. It's the best turn 1 in the game, right? Charge pass. Jacob looks like he's open kind of nutty again. He does have the 1-drop Bobbity, searches the quickening. I mean, okay, so swing, auto, take a life, 15k double, put 1 under, draw 1, and then put 1 under, so he's at 1 already. Ooh, that's so nice. Putting a quickening under the quickening is probably the best thing a Majin Vegeta player can see, right? He's going to go ahead and combo the Bibbidi to make it a 20k double strike swing. Dylan's going to combo with Bulma, flipping a life face up, drawing 2 cards, flipping launch to the backside. So she's sitting at 15k right now. Combo Nappa, draw a card. Nappa will come into play, so that's 25. And he combos out of that attack, but again, that's what Launch wants to do, right? She wants to combo, she wants to draw. So he's going to go ahead, pass turn. Dylan's going to draw, flip his life face down. Nothing was tapped, so he doesn't have to untap here. And he's got to charge and energy. Don't forget to charge. Probably going to charge a green here just so you can have red-green. He's going to charge a Belmod. Smart play. Red-green's good to have. Swing at leader with Launch. Auto, minus 5k to Vegeta. So she's sitting at 10. He's going to combo Bulma, flip a life face up. Draw 2. 1, 2. Flip to the front, I believe. Let's see. I believe she has to flip, yeah. So that's 10k to 5k. He's going to... He'd have to combo with another card to draw. So do you activate... Oh, he can't because he doesn't have the drop. So is there another card that he wants to... Yeah, he's going to go super... I don't know if that's smart. I think you want to use those super combos defensively early. So combo with a Belmont, draw a card. So Launch right now on her front side is sitting at 15k into a 5k Majin Vegeta. I mean, at this point, if I'm Jacob, I take the damage and I get another card under my quickening, right? Because then next turn, that would be 2. You can feed the third one and then possibly take a life with the servant and feed a fourth one and start going up into your chain on turn 2, which is the most efficient way to do it, right? So Jacob's going to take that life. He's going to put... Oh, that's so good, man. You know, none of your battle cards are getting fed, just your balls and your quickenings. Like, that's so efficient. Dylan's going to pass. He still has the Nappa on board for defensive combo, which is good. It is a 10k combo for free, which Nappa's just really efficient, really good. Jacob's going to draw on tap. Let's see what he's had to charge here. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's mono green because he's playing the Great Saiyaman super combo. So there's really nothing that's not green he's going to charge. He's going to charge a Charismatic Villain. Very interesting. It's a great counterplay, but maybe against Launch, aside from Piccolo and Gogeta, like, what are you really hitting? I mean, Resolute's a good card too, but that just shows me he probably has another one in his hand, or it's just it's sometimes charging is really tough. You know what? It's a dead card. It's a card that's going to be dead. Like, you're not going to be able to use it once it's in charge. So he's at 2. He's going to swing with Vegeta, auto take a life, draw a card, feed the quickening. I think that was an SR that he fed. So Vegeta's sitting at 15k double strike. He's got 3 cards under the quickening, and he does have 5 life. So he can awaken if he wants to this turn. But from what we saw game 1, I don't think that's going to happen. Dylan's going to take those 2 life, go down to 6. Jacob's going to tap 1 for Bobbity. He's going to activate and grab the Servant, which is the play that you want to do, right? Because you're going to tap 1 here, take a life, feed the quickening, go into your boot chain, then you can awaken, untap 2, and you just have everything all over again, right? So he's going to tap 1 for Vegeta, take a life, go to 4, feed the quickening. He's feeding a Unison. So he's going to send everything, probably. Not this instant, but I think you'd send it to the drop and play a Boo. So he's got 4. 2 Unisons and a ball. That's so nice. 2 Unisons and a ball underneath. So he can activate that this turn, I believe. He's going to swing leader. I believe he's 15k. I believe he's also double strike, which is kind of savage. Super combo. Bottom deck 1, draw 2. It's so good because it allows you to bottom deck servants in your hand so you can activate your leader's awaken skill to pay 1 to bring him out. So, like, right now, he's going to pop the Vegeta. That's fine. You got to watch out for Resonant, right? Resonant comes into play on the arrival. Pop the Vegeta. Attack fizzles. That kind of hurts because now you can't Overlord on your front side and then awaken and do it again. But depending on what card he put under with the super combo is really going to tell us exactly what's going on. So if he decides to pay 1 now... Okay, so he's paying 1 for Piccolo. Uptick was uptick. Uptick is, I think, discard a card or something like that. I gotta read these cards more often. There's just so many cards to read, and not only that, but read and remember. It's like, oh, like there's so much homework that I have to do just to know the exact wording on the cards. I'm still trying to like pick everything back up. I feel like playing wise, I've caught up with the meta, but just meta knowledge, I'm definitely lacking. So I do apologize for not knowing 100% exactly what these cards do and just kind of reacting to them in real time. But it's unfortunate, but I don't really have a good response for that. So Jacob is going to activate the Quickening to go ahead and play the 3-drop Majin Buu from his deck. I believe this is the one with Barrier. So he doesn't have to worry about any type of removal. He probably wants to resolve his chain. I don't know if he has any parasitic balls in his hand. He probably does at some point, right? I mean, this deck does draw a good amount of cards. We did see one of them get fed to the Quickening early, so we'll see here. 20k. I believe this is the Buu with Barrier, which is great because now if Dylan does have another arrival, he can't target the Buu. So he's going to go ahead and swing 20k to lead. Doesn't look like Dylan has any counters. Is Jacob going to combo up here? Let's see. Doesn't look... I mean, I don't think you have to. I mean, she's at 5k. Yeah, she's at 5. So I'd go ahead and... Okay, yeah. So he's going to pass the combo. Dylan's going to combo with launch, draw a card, flip. So she's at 15. So he needs 10k more to survive. He's going to combo with another card. There's the 10k. Draw another card. So he survives the attack. He had to burn a Champa doing so. That's kind of rough. But hey, Champa is a 10k combo card. So there's the ball to bring out the Buu. This Buu is so good, man. This Buu is so good. I love this Buu. He's so good. That card is just unbelievable. 20k Barrier. Look at top 7 for a Xeno put into play. That's just so good. And then that defensive effect of if your opponent attacks a lead, they have to rip 2 cards. That's rough. Yeah, I mean, why not? You windmill slam that on the table as soon as you see it off of top 7. You just do it, right? There's no reason not to. You just do it. So he's got a 20k swing here with the Buu. He's got a 25 dual attack, double strike. If the big boy Buu was to be removed from the field, I believe he brings out a 5-drop. So even then, like defensively, he can recover really well, which is great. So Buu's going to swing 20k into launch. I don't think Dylan has the counter. I don't think he's drawn any Violent Rays, or he hasn't seen any Violent Rays in these games here. He's going to go ahead and take that Nappa, go down to 5. Jacob already awakened this turn. He is at 4 life, so he can activate his leader again if he wants to. He's going to uptick Piccolo. Okay, so Piccolo is uptick. I think both players draw, and then your opponent bottom decks one. So it's kind of hand in hand with the Slug archetype, because that new Slug archetype from set 12 does a lot of that, where both players draw, and then they get to choose up to X amount of cards and put them at the bottom of the deck. So that makes sense. So let's see what he decides to do here. I don't think he can shoot him. Can he? I mean, technically, I guess he can. He can one-shot him this turn with the Buus. Oof, another. Oh, he's gonna feed. Okay, so he feeds him. Upticks to 2. He's already at 2. Feed, draw card. He's gonna tap 1. Wait, what? Does he feed and free play a 1-drop? That's insane. Wow, that's kind of nuts. Okay. So that Piccolo, I got to take a look at that Piccolo Unison. That seems kind of nuts. Feed it, draw a card, and then play 1 for free. Oof, that's pretty savage. Again, shout out to Jacob for doing his homework, man. This deck seems super optimal in its build. I can't stand that glare on the leader there, but those are the mini snaps for you, right? So let's see. Unison into lead, 15k. Or is it 10k? I think it's 15k. Let's see if Dylan has any counters. He's going to combo, super combo. Is he going to do it? Is he going to bottom deck the big boy? Draw 2? Oof, another super combo. Yikes. These bottom deck draw 2 super combos in Servant Overlord decks are insane. Like, they're so good. I haven't seen Garlic get played too much. Obviously, Red Broly's all over the place, but it doesn't even really matter, like, with that servant skill. But Baby's another one. Baby with the bottom deck, draw 2 GT Vegeta, putting your servants at the bottom and then playing, like, getting them. That's just gross. So, yeah, that's a smart play. So on the Nappa free play from combo, that's so much value. My God, it's really nice to see. Like, you could tell that, you know, he's been playing this deck for a while. He's been experimenting with different strategies, and then when you see the efficiency of your strategy pay off, it's always really nice to see. So on that free play from Nappa, Jacob responds with Charismatic Villain, getting rid of SS Gogeta at Resonant, right? Then he free plays Surprise Attack because he KO'd the Resonant. He did 25k critical to launch. She's at 4 life. He's going to tap 1 to play this guy. Take a life. He's a 15k double striker. Doesn't look like he has any counters. Another super combo. Bottom deck, draw 2. So 25k double strike. And it just keeps going. And he still has his 7 drop. That's a dual attack double strike. I just don't see a way of getting out of this. Like, Dylan has not resolved a negate in this match at all. He is going to go ahead and combo out, it looks like. 10, 20, 30. But now you're just using cards. Now you're just Now you're just burning your hand. And he's going to play another Parasitic Dragon Ball to go up into the Xeno Frieza chain. 15k attacker. It just keeps going. It's like the Energizer Bunny. Majin Vegeta is the Energizer Bunny deck of Dragon Ball Super. It just keeps going and going and going and going. And this is all with what? 2 energy? This is insane. Like, I don't even think Red Broly can go off on 2. I mean, let me not say that because I'm going to get murdered in the comments. But I'm pretty sure Red Broly needs at least your opponent to have 3 energy to go up to the full chain. But I could be wrong about that. So 25k double to lead. Dylan takes it. Jacob's going to activate Overlord to bottom deck the 1-drop and draw a card. He is tapped out, so he's not going to be able to tap 1 to get him out, but I think it doesn't matter at this point because he still has 25k double duel here. No counters from Dylan. He is tapped out, so, I mean, that's unfortunate. Another super combo. Ugh. So that's 35 double duel, bottom deck 1, draw 2, and he just keeps drawing card, like just drawing 5Ks. So 35 double strike, dual attack. I don't really see a way out of it, and that's the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next video. Be there or be squared.